I just had like a really like severe like mental breakdown the other day,
Oh,
and it was actually pretty rough. So I was like, yeah, I don't think I can really keep it together long enough to try and record an episode, which I'm sure it would have made for like great content.
oh
but
my gosh.
that probably would have been a day that like I didn't do like video or anything like that, because when I tell you that like I could not stop crying, like
Oh
I
my gosh.
couldn't stop crying.
Hello, my girlfriend.
Hey, beautiful.
It's funny. We release an episode every week, and I feel like I haven't talked to you in a while.
It does feel like that, doesn't it?
I think it's because we talk just about every day, and we haven't really talked a lot the past few days. So I'm like, gosh, this week sure has went by fast. I haven't talked to Cassie much.
I know, right? It's very weird.
That's okay. We talking now, and we got everyone here listening with us, so it's the best way to do it.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. So how's life been?
Oh, well, we're just gonna get right into it, aren't we?
Well, I didn't know. Or did I?
Well, I feel like that's kind of a loaded question.
Okay.
Because as you know, as I've made you aware, we tried recording the other day, but it just wasn't happening for me.
Hmm.
I don't really know. Well, I mean, like I do know, but like I don't know. I just had like a really like severe like mental breakdown the other day,
Oh,
and it was actually pretty rough. So I was like, yeah, I don't think I can really keep it together long enough to try and record an episode, which I'm sure it would have made for like great content.
oh
but
my gosh.
that probably would have been a day that like I didn't do like video or anything like that, because when I tell you that like I could not stop crying, like
Oh my
I
gosh.
couldn't stop crying. A little uncertain like if it's gonna come back like while I talk about it, because like it's only been like a few days and like I'm just kind of like,
Oh,
getting back into like my groove and whatever. Um but yeah, it's been a little rough over here in these
oh.
parts of town. Um
Real life
how
at its finest, huh?
girl, if there has not been truer words spoken. Um, but I guess before, we kind of really like get into it. How have
Hmm.
you been all right?
I am feeling better this week than I have the past few weeks.
Good.
I've had just different commitments I've been a part of, and you know, things not falling through or things not going the way that I like it to go. And I feel like this week things have finally started to turn around just a little bit,
Good.
enough for me to, start seeing that little bit of light at the end of the tunnel there. Be like, okay, I think I got this. Cause I was, I wouldn't say I was in a place that sounds as down as you have been, but I was like stressed the hell out. I think I was more stressed than down. And
Yeah, I don't think I've seen you that stressed actually.
yeah, like it's just like
It was a lot.
it was obnoxious, yes,
Yeah.
because it's when I'm stressed, I continuously talk about it. Like I can't shut the fuck up about it. you know? It's just like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this is going on and this is going on and now this just happened with this. And
Mm,
God forbid the situation gets worse and I just harp on it even more. I just
right.
don't know how to be stressed by something and just say, okay, this is what the situation is. It's
Yeah.
gonna get better. Just go with emotions. No, I get stressed out. Situation goes downhill, and I'm like, great. Now I'm falling off the deep end, and everything's like the worst. It's just nothing can go right. Woe is me. And yes, I do pity myself in those stressful moments
Yeah.
because that's just unfortunately my, I, I guess my nature around that. So, I'm just I feel almost like I'm bragging and I'm sorry, but I'm just so
No.
happy that this week has started to feel better. than the
Well,
past few weeks, but I just feel terrible because I finally have a good week after you listen to me vent week after week about the BS I have going on. And it's almost like I've just pushed it all onto you, and then you're over here mentally breaking down, and I'm all like, oh, starting to see the rainbow. you know,
no, totally fine. That's what friends are for at the end of the day. And I'm glad
it's
that
the
things
truth.
are, coming into place and stuff because I know that you've been going through a lot. So
Oh, thank you, girl.
it's good to hear. And like, because I'm on this side of it. So like I'm like, don't worry about it. Everything will work out, it'll be
hmm
fine, things will fall into place. But when you're actually like in the moment and like you're in that shit, like you don't think about that kind of stuff. You're
You
like,
ain't got no room for that.
the world is crumbling.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I totally get it. Mm,
Thank you.
I totally get it. And like, it is really hard because like when I was in the middle of it, I was like, bitch, like, why are you so emotional right now? Like, what is wrong with you? Like, everything is fine. Like, just get it together and fucking like just get it together. Like what is happening? But like
It's so simple, right?
I mean, theoretically speaking, but
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
don't even I just I don't even know. Like there was kind of like a few different things that like were going on and like there's like one thing in particular that just really kind of like triggered it and
Okay.
once I started like tearing up and like I hate crying. I really do, but like I'm such
Don't we all?
I don't maybe not. I don't know. But like I'm such an emotional fucking person and like, it just frustrates me because like, the stupidest things will, like, make me cry, and I'm like, "Why the fuck am I crying right now? Like, can you please just, like, be a human, like, adult and, like, just like"
Are we able to get an example by any chance? I'm just curious.
Of what?
Something really simple that just gets you all worked up and sobbing.
About, like, what like, started making me cry?
Yeah, I don't know if you're okay to share that or
Oh, well, no. So I'm not gonna go over, like, the exact thing that, like, triggered me,
okay, that's fine.
um,
It may trigger
but
you again, so it's probably a good thing that we don't.
I well, maybe.
Right.
I think I'm over it now, but anyways.
Okay.
So, like but, like, once I started, like, tearing up, like, I could not stop. Like, it wouldn't stop. Like, I was, like, for real, like, ugly, like, like, loud, like, it was
Did you have
bad.
the snots?
It was
Hyperventilating?
it was so bad. Like and I was just, like, trying to, like, relax and, like, breathe and, like, just really get my shit together, and, like, I couldn't do it. Like, no matter what I tried, like, I couldn't stop, and then, like, I would be able to, like, stop for, like, a second, and then, like,
Mhm.
my mind would just, like, keep thinking about shit, and then, like, it would just, like, keep happening, and I'm like, "You know what? I'm just gonna go take a very long shower, and I'm just gonna, like, get it out
Cry
in
in
there.
there.
So, like,
Mhm.
I don't have to, like, sit here and keep, like, looking crazy and, like, maybe, like, if I just, like, let it all out, like, maybe it would just, like, stop, but it really didn't for, like, the rest of the night, and,
Oh.
like, ultimately, it made me so tired just because, like, like, when you cry a lot, like, your eyes start
Oh, that's the
hurting.
most exhausting that's, like, the most exhausting activity in life.
It is. It
I'll run a
really
mile and
is.
feel better than crying for 10 minutes.
Yes, it's just so emotionally, like, draining and, like, it kinda, like it didn't, like, scare me, but I'm just like, "What is wrong with you?" And I think it's just because I really fight, like, crying and, like, getting upset and, like,
We know.
we know that, like, I avoid shit, like, all the time, um, and I think it was just kind of, like, compiled, like, just everything,
Combustible. Yeah.
and I think that I really just, like, kind of, like, lost it because, I feel like I'm kind of like a person that like a lot of people like come to and just kind of like dump like all of their emotions. And that's
Mhm.
not I'm not, you know, saying like you or because like we just had the conversation about
I wasn't
like
taking
you were
anything
going through.
personally, I just want you to know this.
But like no, it's been like a lot of like different people and stuff like really like putting like all of their like heavy shit on me.
Mhm.
And we know that, like, I haven't really dealt with, like, my own personal shit too.
Mhm.
So, I think it's really just me sitting here and just, like, eating up, like, all of these emotions and feelings and thoughts and things like that, and just, like, really I'm that person to really just, like, tuck it far, far away, like, down into my chest, and, like, I try my best to just process it in that moment for, like,
Mm.
what it's worth, and then just swallow it and fucking move on and don't think about it again, and, like, you're fine. But
So you think.
clearly, that's, like, not that's just, like, not the case because it will come up eventually, and it surely did the other day, and it was not a pretty situation, and a part of me was thinking too, like, is this in any way, like, related to, like, Father's Day or the fact that, like, next month it's gonna be 5 years that, like, my dad hasn't been here, and although, like, consciously thinking, like, I don't think it really bothers me that much, but I'm like,
Mhm.
maybe it, like, really does, and those are just, like, emotions that, like, I'm just not really, like, allowing to, like, process,
That's
um,
true.
because there's just kind of, like, a lot, like, going on and, I do think about them every day and stuff, and I'm just like, maybe this is me trying to process, like, what I've been through and, like, not really, like, knowing, like, how to do it, so, like, it's just kind of, like, all just, like,
Randomly had like a breakthrough and it just all fell out.
vomiting, yeah, just, like, tears, like, it was a nightmare.
Oh my, I feel like it's probably a combination of different things because like you said, you've just had so much like for me personally from an outside perspective of what you've had going on lately in life, you've just had so much on your plate and it's just like you're constantly like probably a terrible analogy, but you're constantly filling your mouth and chewing and chewing and chewing and chewing.
Yeah.
Like you're just go, go, go. And you've been on go. Like you really have been on go mode. And you really haven't just, I feel like you haven't really done a lot for yourself or taken any time for yourself. And you've kind of reached a point of probably a little bit of time to breathe. And you just finally release all these emotions. And especially for someone who doesn't share their emotions, like there's no doubt in my mind that this was like you said, everything that was suppressed, everything that you've been taking in, you were like that thermometer that freaking broke the record of how high it can go and you just busted loose and
That's what it felt like.
had to do that. But what I want to know is that after all that crying, because you sounded like you cried for a very long time.
I did. My face hurt.
I've never heard that before, but did you feel
Um,
any do you feel any better than before you cried?
um, I mean, it's what day is today? So, like, it's been, like, 2 days since that
Mhm,
happened, and I think, like, today I'm just, like, starting to feel better about it, like, I do feel like, something's kind of been, like, lifted off of me, just a little bit, but, like, when I
mhm,
start to, like, think about things again, like, I do start to get, like, a little, like, teary-eyed, so I don't think it's, like,
mhm,
fully out of my system. Who knows if
gotcha.
it ever really will be?
Mhm,
Um, but, like, I guess I just really need to figure out how to, like, process emotions more or, like, learn how to, like, communicate better or just, like, a way to, like, not keep bottling everything up just because I feel like I've just been doing that for so long in my life, like, even from,
mhm,
like, when I was little, and, like, I don't really know a better way to
release.
yeah, or, like, to deal with it. I don't really know,
Mhm.
like, what other kind of, like, methods there are for that, um, and the fact that, like, I know I am a very emotional person, so I don't know, I think I just gotta figure out, like, a better way to do it so, like, this doesn't happen every so often.
I think we should put I think as in I know I gotta find a better way because I mean, granted, it's exhausting, and I personally feel like a good cry here and there is like a breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
Um, I feel like for myself, I feel a little backwards. I feel a little more relieved when I cry when I'm mad or frustrated. But
Mm.
that's probably because I also have like a feeling of aggression. also behind those feelings. So knowing that I'm not going to put myself into those types of positions to be aggressive towards anyone or anything,
Yeah.
that crying is my release that allows me to feel a little better in those times.
Mhm.
But I'm not saying that you shouldn't have moments to cry, but I definitely think regulating it would be a little better where it's not just taking you by surprise and just kind of shuts your whole day down and just, you know, crumbles you.
Yeah, it was heavy.
If that's the best terminology for it, because it definitely sounded like a really like a very weakening moment. And it's hard because it's like it's okay to cry. Like it really is okay to cry. And
Yeah, I just hate that shit.
for some people it makes you feel better. I do too, but it's just like do we hate it because like of how you feel after or how you look after? Like, you know what I mean? Like it's just why exactly do you hate it?
I think I hate it just because I really hate, like, having to process emotions. Like, I feel like it's the most exhausting thing ever, and I'd rather just, like, carry on and just go do 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 like it's a happy day.
Oh my gosh. And I feel like that's a big thing that I don't know how to word it, but I feel like I see on social media a lot of parents okaying their kids of processing their emotions and allowing them to go through the motions with their emotions.
Mhm.
And then it makes me wonder, like, did our generation do that? Because, even generations before us, because there's just a lot of avoidant type of techniques, I guess is the word I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Because avoidant techniques is like when more so, not saying this is the case for you, but like people get into negative habits and, just go about routes that they really shouldn't be on or could have avoided those routes by just processing their emotions.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
I feel you to a degree on not liking the feeling of processing my emotions. But I must say that as I get older, like being in my 30s, I kind of enjoy it.
Do you
to
really?
a to a degree, I do actually enjoy it. Yeah, like it's just because you know me, I'm like that reflective type. Like I just want to look back at stuff and just like think about. I don't know. I like reflection. Like,
Yeah.
and I think a part of it is because I can also see what I could have done differently
Mm.
and protect myself more to not necessarily be in that same circumstance.
Yeah. Oh, that's true.
That's like I don't know. It's like I guess I don't know. It's like being older and gardening. Who would have thought you'd
Oh.
enjoy gardening so much? Here I am being older and reflective. Who would have thought I would enjoy like talking about my feelings and kind of figuring out the origin of why such and such happened.
Yeah, I'm not like that at all. I hate it, and I don't know why. I really don't like people seeing me cry either. But I feel like that's
Oh
like
yeah, no.
the one opportunity that like actually helps get it out because like if I'm not like talking about it or whatever or thinking about it, then like then like I don't get upset. But I don't know.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. It is weird for people to see you cry. It's a little too vulnerable in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't even
Like
know. I mean, I guess it's that, but I just also feel like I'm like inconveniencing people too. Like you know.
see, I don't think about it. I just think of the whole aesthetics around it. Like, oh gosh, like my eyes were all puffy. I remember one time I cried right before going into work, and I was in my car sobbing, like boo-hooing and everything. And then I pulled it together. And part of the reason I was crying is because I didn't even want to be there. So that didn't help. So I'm like really like sniffling on my way in, pulled it together. And one of my coworkers seen me and they're like, wow, you look really tired. And I'm just like,
Yeah, that's what it is.
yeah. I was like, yeah, long day.
Oh,
And I'm just like, bro, I cried literally about 20 minutes
well, yeah.
from home to work. Like I didn't start the car right off crying, but the closer I got, I started crying, like sobbing and eating an apple on the way to work. Like
Oh.
it was terrible.
Oh,
But it was just one of those, they can't see me crying. Let me hurry up and pull it together. So what
right.
I do, I went into the building late so I can pull myself together.
Yeah.
So no one sees me crying.
Yeah, I've definitely had a few of those moments too.
Right. But why is that a thing? Can someone answer that for us? Why is that a thing where you just don't like to be seen crying? Like, because I'll see people at work who are like willingly crying, and I'm like, you're making me uncomfortable.
Right. Well, you shouldn't do it in the workplace either, but I don't
I
know.
guess,
I mean, but
but
you never know, like, what people are going through, like, something, anything
right.
can happen, so
That's my thing. But it's just hard because it's just like, then what are you supposed to do? Like,
yeah,
I get what you mean at that point of inconvenience, air quotes, um, because I've probably only cried in front of someone like once at work,
yeah.
and I was embarrassed. And I literally cried because I told them I knew my mom was like getting ready to die.
Mm,
Why would I be embarrassed?
right. Yeah, that's not something to, like, be ashamed of or whatever, like, that's some
Right,
real shit, you know?
right. Like
Mhm.
I dead ass was they. I remember there were two managers in the room. It was like a traumatizing moment, I guess. Two managers sitting in the room, and I'm standing there and I'm telling them, and then I'm like starting to cry, and I literally was like standing there, and I'm like, and then I'm like holding my face, and I'm just like trying to act like I'm okay, and I'm like, no, I'm not okay, and then I'm like, yeah, I got this. And I'm like, no, fuck, I don't got this. Like, but it's just like, why go through all that? It's just like they probably are like, girl, just fucking cry. Like you're telling us your mom's about to die, and you're over here just like,
Right. Saying it
for
like, "I
what?
picked up the paper today."
Right? Like I stepped in dog poop on my way here.
Yeah.
Oh, my feelings are hurt, but I got this. No, I'm actually hurt. Like that, it makes no sense. And
Yeah.
I guess as humans, I don't understand why we do that.
I don't know either, because I was like me too when that shit first started, I, like, started tearing it up, I was like, "No." I was like, "Look at the sky." I was like, "Wave a little bit." Like,
Oh gosh, get some air in the eye ducts.
I'm like, "You're fine, like, you got this, like, don't do it." And then
Oh my
fucking
gosh.
I don't know.
Sorry. It's so bad.
Oh, it was so bad. It was so
Oh,
bad. It was so bad.
oh my gosh. Like I said, I understand that. I was just the other day in my basement crying because two of my commitments fell through. And well, one commitment fell through. The person didn't follow up with me. And then the other person who has been like falling off and like not like committing to what they're saying, they were supposed to come to my house.
Oh,
And so I went in the basement so I didn't have to deal with anyone, let them go and do whatever they had to do. And so I'm in the basement, like I have a to-do list in my basement right now. So I'm just working on my to-do list in the basement.
yeah.
Meanwhile, crying in between picking up every item and deciding if this is going to donation or if this is trash or if I need to organize this in a bin.
Oh.
Literally sobbing the whole time. But the thing that was so ridiculous is that I got so much done.
Well, that's good. It's productive crying right there.
I was just like, because I was like, I don't feel like dealing with anyone. They don't need me for what work needs to be done around the house.
Mm.
I'm just gonna be down here isolated and just clearing up my shit and being mad about it and just doing what I have to do until they leave, and then I'll come back upstairs. Well, jokes on me. They never even came that day, anyways.
Oh.
So, which made me cry even more as I'm
Oh,
working on
no.
this to-do list. So, though that's me when I cry. I'm a brat. I'm like, I'll cry more about having an expectation set in my mind
Yeah.
and it not following through.
Yeah, you're definitely that person.
Yeah, I have a standard set a little too high on things. I'll admit that.
You sure do.
And I guess I set myself up for failure
Causing
because,
yourself all that stress for no reason.
but a bitch can't help it. Okay. That's just, I just, I don't even know where it comes from. I
Yeah.
haven't fully reflected on that one yet, apparently. I'm still trying to figure it out. But
Well, we're all
it's
works in
just,
progress.
it's just expectations. Even like today, I had ordered my favorite salad from NB Bakery and they forgot to put the cheese on my salad. The
Oh,
main reason I got the salad is because the cheese makes the salad.
Oh, that's always so disappointing.
And I literally tried not to cry about it
Oh,
because I was so like I needed it to be like I had I had this thought of exactly how it's going to taste because I get it often enough to know how it tastes.
right.
And I was just so I was trying so hard to not be upset about it. Like I swear on everything, like it took a lot out of me. So what I do, I just kept talking about it. Like how? How do they even like who serves the salad without the cheese on it? Like the cheese makes it. I'm like, why do they even think? Look at the receipt. It doesn't say no cheese for my salad. Why did my salad get skipped on the cheese? Like I couldn't even control myself. And then I'm like, great. Now after work, I'm gonna have to go to the store and get some cheese to put on my salad because like I ate because it's a big salad, so I can like split it up into 3 servings. Like it's a nice size salad.
Okay.
But that's the thing. Like, why do I have this big ass salad and no cheese?
I don't know, girl.
So I ate 1 serving of it without the cheese. I had to muscle through it. I didn't realize the cheese made that much of a difference. It literally does. And here I am trying not to talk shit the whole time I'm eating the salad with no cheese. Like I'm like, I have to go to the grocery store because why did I get this whole salad to not eat it? Like, oh, I'm sorry. See, here I go harping on it. This is what I do when I get disappointed because I had that expectation and I get disappointed, but I'm proud of myself because I didn't cry. As much as I wanted to, I didn't cry about no cheese on my salad today.
Listen, I get it. There's nothing more heartbreaking than like craving something and having your food order be fucked up, but
Oh
you know,
my
I
gosh.
definitely don't put that much thought into it.
Yeah, no, I really was
That's a
like
lot, girl.
I was on 1,000, all because of, and it's the gorgonzola cheese. It wasn't even like anything crazy, gorgonzola cheese. So I went and got the cheese from the grocery store because I am going to finish the story now. So I went and got the cheese from the
I was
grocery
about to
store.
cut you off too.
And I ate another serving of my salad, and the cheese does make a big ass fucking difference. I just want to share that because I killed that shit like it was nobody's business.
You got problems.
Just saying.
Mm-mm.
That's all I got. Thank you. Have a great day.
All right, Envy Bakery. Make sure y'all don't mess up our salad again.
Right, like they know me. They should know better. Ask for extra avocado, extra dressing, and oh, this is
Oh
the
God,
icing on the cake because
shouldn't have
I
even went
definitely.
there.
This is the one time I even asked for a little extra cheese, and they put no fucking cheese. I never asked for extra cheese. The one time I asked for extra cheese, they just fucking completely skipped the cheese.
All right, y'all. So
Never again.
enough of Amanda and her cheese escapades because I can't.
And I'm lactose intolerant.
Oh, why did I forget about that? You don't make any sense. I can't. I
I have my
cannot.
mindset. I want what I want.
I can't. I cannot. I can't. I can't with you. I can't. I don't. I now I can't even focus. I can't. All right. So to get a little more back on track, depending on no matter what the situation is, whatever situation is going to make you feel like you got to cry, go ahead and just release it.
Let
And
it out.
hopefully it'll make you feel better because after this shit happened, oh,
Look at her. She needs a nap.
excuse
I think
me.
she was crying today.
Whew, well, my eyes are
Exhausted.
getting a little watery. And I
Oh
took a
my
nap today
gosh.
already. All right. So, where was I?
Let it out. No matter how you're feeling, let those tears out.
Oh God, no. I see in here. I'm still here. All right. Anyways, so
Listen, y'all, she had a good ass cry. That shit
uh,
wiped out brain cells.
it really did. Um, shut up. So after this happened, right? So I looked this up, and there are actually benefits to crying, and there are like cry therapies and whatever. So, um, one is, kind of like something that you would just like expect when you cry is that it's kind of like soothing. So it will
Okay.
help you like calm yourself down in, I guess, kind of certain situations, and it can potentially help you regulate your emotions. Um,
Hmm, makes
so
sense.
it has some, benefits there. It's also mentioned to help relieve pain. Um, and I
Hmm.
guess this is because it releases endorphins and oxytocin.
I would say, yep, the
So
endorphins.
yeah, so it can really help you, like physically too, which I think is pretty cool. You
That's
know,
good.
so bottling shit up does not help your body, by the way.
Yeah, Cassie.
And then, it can obviously enhance your mood. It's taken me a few days to kind of like get there, but eventually it will.
Of course.
And it will help release toxins and it relieves stress, which I can definitely say that because like after you really just like kind of like get it out and like release all of that, you kind of have just like a sense of like,
Woo.
yeah, like a sense of
Yeah.
ease. Like you
Mm-hmm.
feel a little bit better after all of that because like, you get all like worked up and you're all tense and like you're just,
Yes.
you know, going like
Yes.
crazy and stuff. And then once you just cry, like it just all comes out and it literally washes it away. So
It's literally like it comes out of your pores and it just
yeah,
vanishes.
definitely. And then I'm not gonna go into like all the benefits and stuff here because there are a lot of them, but the the only other one that I want to mention is that it does list that it aids in sleep. And
That's the truth.
I'm just gonna go ahead and guess because it's fucking exhausting.
Well, there's no better reason than that, I'm pretty sure.
No, because like I was just like I'm done. I was like my eyes hurt. I was like I'm going to sleep, and
Why
maybe
is it so exhausting?
I don't. It's probably just like all like the face muscles and like you get all like puffy and like I don't
Well, I guess essentially if it's releasing endorphins and oxytocin, it's kind of like exercising. So,
know.
uh
Yeah, I guess it can
that
be.
makes sense. If it helps you physically, you do need to rest and refresh and reset. So,
Yeah.
definitely refresh after a good cry. But
Yes. So I guess the moral of the story today, guys, is sometimes it can be hard to let it out, but at the end of the day, there truly are benefits to crying, and we all need a good cry once in a while. Just don't let it be as maybe heavy as I had the other day.
right.
I should have let
And
them
if it
out in
is,
pieces.
give yourself time to rest after because that's also important. And it's probably a good thing too to keep cucumbers in your fridge because cucumbers can help the swelling on your eyes after you cry. And then
Oh,
cucumbers are also good to put into your water to keep you hydrated because after you just release all that, you might want to rehydrate yourself.
mm. It's actually some good tip. I did actually just buy cucumbers at the store, so maybe I'll put some in my water.
I forgot when I went to pick up my cheese.
Oh God. You just had to bring the cheese back into this, didn't you? Can't.
Highlight.
I
Well,
can't. I don't. You know what? That's all I got. You have anything else besides cheese today?
yes. As a matter of fact, I just want to say thank you to you for sharing that wonderful information. I'm going to jump back onto a serious note and let my cheese go. But I appreciate you sharing that information. And I think it's really great that we're sharing that with people because it's seen too many times as not okay to cry. It's not okay for men to cry. It's not okay for little boys to cry.
Yeah.
And that stuff is trash. Like that needs to go back to whatever decade it came from because it don't matter who you are, where you are, what you are. I don't really don't give a damn about any of those details.
Right.
If you need to cry, you cry and you be okay about it because if you're crying, your body most likely also needed it too.
Hmm.
So give your body what it needs. Do a little, like we said, a little reset, refresh. Make sure you get you a good nap after that cry and go about your day. And if you need to cry again, then cry again. You know what? Just feel your emotions, ride them out, and it's never going to last forever. So I have yet to see a Guinness Book of World Records of somebody crying for an extended period of time. So go ahead, get your tears on, and you know what? Be proud of yourself for feeling how you felt and allowing your body to release it.
Yeah, definitely. And that made me think too because, social media is all about like all like the good stuff and the positives and like you don't really hear, the breakdown stories and
Mm-hmm.
I guess it is kind of like a good thing just, I'm not perfect. Like everything in my life isn't always like, roses and sunshine. Like, I definitely have my days and
Right. We all. Yep.
this was certainly one of them and I'm not really afraid to to share that.
Mhm.
Obviously I'm not gonna sit here and, like, record myself when, like, I'm ugly crying, 'cause, like, that's just, like, a little weird, but
It's gonna be a little hard to record.
yeah. But, I had my day, and I am slowly starting to feel a little better, so we'll just take it day by day and just see where the future brings us.
Yes. Spitting gems, girl. Well, thank you, Cassie, for bringing us into your life a little bit today and allowing us to, know where you have been recently and allowing us to see that you are able to be vulnerable as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, we're going to wrap up this episode before I bring up the cheese one more time.
Oh gosh.
And I just want to say, on behalf of both of us, thank you to everyone who continues to support us, whether you're following one of our pages on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube. We just want to let you all know that we appreciate you. And for those of you who listen on our different podcasting platforms, we appreciate you as well. And we hope that you were able to take something great from today's episode. And we look forward to speaking with you next time.
Yes, thank you guys, we'll talk to you later.
Bye.